Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ashley Lancelot Show. We are going to be a new segment. We'll be going over monsters from 3.5, 4th, 5th, and Pathfinder. Right now, I can't find my 3.5 or my 4th edition monster manual. It's somewhere around here, or I might end up buying a new one. But yeah, we're going to be doing the Pathfinder and the 5th edition for now for these characters. If you have any monsters you want me to go over, how to use them, what they are, etc., if I ever use them as well, or should have this in your campaign or not, let us know down in the comments below. I don't mind going over it. We will be having other GMs coming over on our shows, and we'll be talking about certain quests as well. I know that this Friday we'll be talking live podcast for alignment on 5th edition, 4th edition, 5. So basically, we are going to be talking more about alignments because alignment has been shifted from advanced D&D, heavily aligned, and then the meter went down all the way to the 5th edition. It's like it's more narrative too. So yeah, and it gets very vague on what each alignments are, unless you've been playing a very long time like I have. Well, this first monsters would be kobolds. Kobolds are one of the common creatures you have in your beginning of your campaign or towards the higher level end as well. Kobolds are very versatile, very easy to use, and you can actually power them up very a lot easier than you think. Because kobolds can be fighter, barbarian, rogue most of the time, sorcerers, there's kobold wizards, there's kobold monks. You can actually play kobold as a class if you really like on Pathfinder as well, and 5th edition if you like. You ask the DM that okay, our templates for it, and usually kobolds are very mischievous looking creatures, especially when you have a horde of them, small village, and they start taking little bits of materials, stuff from missing, and they also like caravans down the forest and ambush ambush the Puritans. Take out their stuff, shiv and kill majority of the people in that cavern, or take them in and eat them later. Kobolds are intelligent in certain ways. Usually, the one that spellcasting or a type of kobolds are more intelligent, higher wisdom, or higher intel for a wizard type, or sorcerer higher charisma. But it is we're going basic. How we're going to do it as well. I'm gonna read their actual thing. Got my glasses on so I can actually read for once in my darn life to you guys. So I'm gonna start with the Pathfinder one. I think this is the Pathfinder. Yeah, this is the Pathfinder one. These are lawful evil. That's the 5th edition as well. They both have dark vision 60 feet. That's very good. Black and white. Usually they live in caves or are underground, as letting you know. I can go over dark vision as well because a lot of people are GMs, make them see clear pictures of gray and white, but a lot of time there's different shades of gray and there's shades of black. If you think of a person that's wearing night goggles, you see green and black. There's different shades of green, different shades of black. Just letting you guys know. They have very high perception. They very easily spot stuff. On the Pathfinder, their AC is 15. On the 5th edition, their AC is 12. Depending on what they are, you can actually have them have armor, a studded leather plate, usually time. Something in the higher ones that are more innate will have like a little bit of a higher type like halfling or a gnome type of armor because they are small creatures as well. Language they both speak is common and draconic. They are a draconic kind class. They're basically akin, the lower ones. Usually they do serve higher master like dragon, giants. A lot of times their most majority of time are slaves. And there's some renegades as well. Just letting you guys know. They're very good with their basically like spellcaster type of these kobolds are like arcane trickster. They use tricks with magic most of the time. I'm just letting you know. I'm not gonna go with the tax, but I do want to read the organization of these guys, see how much they come in packs. Kobolds against attack allies within 5 feet of creature. Nope. The 5th edition doesn't say how many of them are out. But the Pathfinder, they said they come in gangs of 2 to 40 in the nest. A total equal number of non-combatants 5 to 30. So kobolds do live in a pack. They're slave. There's a majority of them. They're like freaking making babies, like rats or mice, or rabbits. You guys can pick. There are a lot of them, and they make a lot of babies, and they go kill, salvage, steal, take it to their den, and make more babies. And the more of them they are in a single area, like a nest, the more trouble your adventurers will have, unless they're a higher level, and then someone has a feat called Great Cleave, dead, or a wizard that comes by and casts Fireball on everyone in that little 20-foot radius. So there are a lot of good and bads about it. Some kobolds do have spell resistance, depending if you put more dragon lineage into them as well. They're in different colors of kobolds as well. We're going to do the common one that usually people have, or the red kobolds. And crafts are, like I said, they're tricksters. They're like mostly like roguelike. And on Pathfinder, they're more like trap making. Over here on 5th edition, there's not that much information on the 5th edition. I know 3.5 has more information than the 5th edition. 4th edition, I don't remember as much. I haven't played 4th edition as well because they suck. But I'm going to read you the Pathfinder version of it. Kobolds are creatures of the dark, found most commonly in enormous underground caverns or the dark corners of the forest where the sun is unable to reach. Due to their physical similarities, kobolds loudly proclaim themselves the scorns of dragonkind, destined to rule the earth beneath the wings of their great god cousin. But most dragons have little use for the obnoxious pest. While they may speak loudly of divine right and manifest destiny, kobolds are nearly aware of their own weaknesses. Cowards and schemers, they never fight fair if they can help it. Instead, set up ambush and double cross, holing up in their warrens behind countless crude but ingenious traps, or rolling over the enemy in vast yelping hordes. Kobolds, the coloration varies even among siblings from the same eggs, clutch ranging through the colors of the chromatic dragons, with red being the most common, but white, green, blue, and black kobolds not unheard of. So that is the kobolds of the Pathfinder. Now I'm going to read the 5th edition of it. I'm going to talk more about it. It is actually very short. Kobolds are caravan reptilian humanoids that worship evil dragons as demigods and serve them as minions and toadies. Kobolds inhabit dragons' lair when they can, but more commonly infest dungeons, gathering treasures and trinkets to add to their own tiny hordes. Their strength in number, kobolds are egg-laying creatures. They mature quickly and can live to be great worms, more than a century old. However, many kobolds perish before they reach the end of their first decade. Physically weak, they are easy prey for predators. This vulnerability forces them to band together. Their superiority numbers can win battles against powerful adversaries, but often with massive casualties on the kobold side. And this is basically what they do is tunnel and builders in the 5th edition. Kobolds make up for their physical inaptitude with a cleverness for trap making and tunneling. Their lair consists of low tunnels through which they move easily, but which hinders larger humanoids. Kobolds also riddle their lairs with traps. The most insidious kobold traps make use of natural hazard and other creatures. A tripwire might connect to a spring-loaded trap to hurl clay pots of flesh-eating green slimes, or flings crates of venomous giant centipedes at intruders. This is basically the religion part of it, the lost god. In addition to dragons, they revere kobold worships a lesser god named Cthulhumak. Legend speaks of how Cthulhumak served as Tiamat's vessel in the 9 hells until girl Glittergold, the god of Gnome, stole a trinket from the Dragon Queen's hoard. Tiamat said for Tulomach to retrieve the trinket, but Garl Glittergold played a trick on him, collapsing the earth and trapping the kobold god in an underground maze for eternity. For this reason, kobolds hate gnomes, and pranks of any kind. Tulomach's most devoted worshippers dedicate themselves to find and releasing their lost god from his prison maze. And these are one you see very few of kobolds, but very rare. It's called the winged kobolds. A few kobolds are born with leathery wings and can fly, known as urds. They like to lurk on high ledges and drop rocks and passerby, although the Urd's wings are seen as gifts from Tiamat, the Dragon Queen. Wingless kobolds are envious of those gifts and don't get along with the Urds. So we have two different types of kobolds in the 5th edition, the winged and the regular. They like each other, but they have to work with each other. So they had, for the Pathfinder gods religion part, this one, on the Pathfinder, they go with different types of chromatic dragons. And the right, they go for the Dragon Queen Tiamat. Usually D&D, the Greyhawk scenario. Tiamat, on the 5th edition now, is trapped in the first layer of 9 Gates of Hell for all of eternity. So if you go down the Gates of Hell during the Blood Wars, you're going to face Tiamat. But that's their religion. They think very highly and mighty of themselves. Their god is going to, save them and look upon them. But the gods, dragons, look at them as pests. Most of the time, they're worthless in their point of view. Kobolds, I would roll at least 1d20 for kobolds. But if you have one player going against, I say 1 to 4 to 5 kobolds as a ratio. So if you have 4 players, you want to have at least 20 total or less spread out. Don't do 20 kobolds all at once, because that means you end up killing your players. But make it as if you have 4 adventurers, there's this long cavernous, you have 5 kobolds here, you have 6 kobolds there, 10 kobolds over there. A lot of times I will have little small trinkets, but very rarely you can roll percent die on what kind of magic items that they roll. But don't make it too powerful, because kobolds don't really have any powerful magic unless they're a lot older and more suffice. Usually you have one big leader, kind of a chieftain, but usually they're like spellcasters. More intelligent, older, and usually they're the one that keeps charge and something nice for them. Well, they are very good trap makers. So if you never made traps, usually you should make some basic traps, like there's an animal companion all the way in the back on both of these books to look at what kind of insects are poisonous, like scorpions, small little swarm of spiders. It'll be a nice little story as well. A swarm of some kind of insect kind creature. Don't get something that will actually overpower these kobolds, because they have to gather it and they have to feed it once in a while, and so forth as well. If you don't have a rogue, this would be a little fun trick to play around with them, but play with it. You can do spike traps, spike pits, 10-15 foot drop pit for them. You have clay pots just swinging around, smacking them in the head, arrows shooting down from each of the walls. There are so many traps. Use your imagination. If you haven't watched Indiana Jones, watch that. Help you make traps a lot more interesting and a lot more fun as well. They're really not that smart, unless they're a lot older. But they're not that smart. They will bark a lot, and they'll run away, unless there's more kobolds around, saying them to have the courage not to fight against one. And usually if there's one kobold and one weak person on the ground, the kobold might just and kill them and steal what they have. They have one adventure with full plate, sword, the kobold will pretty much run away. You want to understand that these kobolds, are very cowardly. They'll just bark. most of the time, unless you unless you get one or two in the corner, then they have no choice to fight you. Some of these kobold might plead for their life. Some of these kobold will not know common because they're mostly underground. Just to let you guys know that. But yes, but armor most of the time are raggedy as well. But you can actually get them to like set a little armor to get a little more AC hit. If you have a group of barbarians, you probably want to armor these guys up pretty decent, and just freaking do a damn dog pile on that barbarian as well. But kobolds have rich history. They're baby makers. Their one challenge rating is a quarter. This one's a quarter. So these are very good ones to start out with. Start having your adventure killing. You have adventures of a storyline of have one village been terrorized at night, and they go around at night. There's noises, stuff missing, everything else. On time, adventurers go out and find black cats, and found that these black cats are actually polymorphed. There's kobolds that polymorph into black cat, disguising themselves in the surroundings so they won't get caught, sneaking in, stealing shit, go back to their horde. And that's you can do it like that way, or you can have during the mid or the adventure of it, you see these slaves of kobolds. Some of these kobolds will be happy to be saved, and some of these kobolds are very devoted to their god. You have little kobold riots, fight against one another, or obliterate the crap out of them with fireballs, depending on what color they are. They will. Some of them will higher up level of it as well. For me, I'll give them some spell resist that element. But, they are very versatile. Very rare to have players actually play kobolds because they're not that strong like with gnomes and halflings. But I've seen people play kobolds before. Usually rogues, sneaky rogues, and usually is one of the backstory I had with kobolds players is that they found a poor little kobold in the corner begging for his life. As one of the players, new player that got his character killed, and that kobold would come from the half. The only way is someone had a patch in the group, and that was a barbarian. The barbarian basically put the kobold in a bag, tied it around towards his neck so he won't get out, but he can move around the bag as well. And you put him in the back. Every time he needs a kobold, you pull out the bag and throw the kobold, do his job and work, and farm traps and so forth as well. It was kind of fun and mean in demeanor, but he wanted to play the kobold, and until that kobold died from a collapsed trap. It's really up to you as a DM. And there's so many ways you can have kobolds. You can have an actual organ. If you have your kobold be more organized, the more organized these kobolds are, the more deadlier they are. A lot of times these kobolds do fight amongst each other, see who is more superior than the other, like the winged kobold or the regular kobold. They're like toe to toe with goblins, I'll say. Goblins, I'll say, more vicious or tinkerers than kobolds are. But let me know what you guys think about the kobolds. I will do more monsters, hopefully twice a week. I think this is actually, people ask me to do more D&D. I'm gonna get some more DMs in as well to be part of this video and what they think, and so in their GMing they ever use the feature as well. There are a lot of monsters in these books. I have bestiaries 1 through 6 for Pathfinder. I used to have a lot of monster manual for 3.5. Just gotta find it. That I never use. One thing is they're overpowered. Second thing is that they only can fight them in that type of plane. I can put my opinions on it. Just let me know what creatures. I know there have been people asking me about mind flayers, lycanthrope, liches, demons and devils, succubus, dryad, nymph, so forth as well. But we will get to more of them. Let me know what you guys want to hear more about. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll talk to you guys later. and have a great day.